Hey guys, I just wanted to show you my teaching setup because actually it's my last day teaching from home and I thought I'd have so much time. I procrastinated making this video and yet here we are. I apologize if it doesn't look like I'm looking directly at the camera. I don't know what's going on with my phone. Anyway, let's get into this video. I want to show you my online teaching setup.
Hey guys, so this is not the prettiest setup in the world, but it's functional and it's messy and I love it because it just shows that this is what distance learning really looks like.
All right guys, sorry that it looks so messy, but it has been a few months of online teaching. Let's get into this setup. I use my laptop. This is where I'll put, up on the laptop screen is where I'll put the Zoom kids. They'll be here so I can see them. I use my MacBook Air because it's the new M1, with the M1 chip. It's like super fast. I can have a bunch of tabs open without it being like laggy, or I don't really have any issues. I don't really have too many Zoom connection issues. My internet here is pretty good. So my kids will be on Zoom here. I usually have the participants panel and the chat panel here for Zoom. And I share my screen on this monitor here. This was given to me by my school. It does the job. And I will share my screen. Sometimes I have a document camera, which actually I just use my phone and I connect it to Wi-Fi and I use that as a document camera. And that is actually, I'll just do my work here. A lot of the times, because of distance learning and I'm cheap and broke, I use what we call, in my classroom, we use a floppy, and I will have my camera just as it is here, but in a better position. And I actually write and they can see what I write. Maybe I will show you guys a quick snippet of like what that looks like, but actually, yeah, I can show you. So when I pull up, let's see if it'll let me. If I pull this up, go to my applications, let's use it here. Do you see that? I open up my applications on my Mac. I use the Visualizer app and I can set it to my phone. Actually, I'll hit select camera and my phone will pop up once I'm on it in my app. And my actual phone, I have this stand thingy, and the phone, it's like an arm, it's like a standing arm, and the arm is up here and it's kind of just, my phone is laying flat and it's displaying what I have underneath. So sorry for my makeshift explanation, but so anyway, what's really cool about this is that they see what's underneath and I can move this around, make it as small or large as I want it. And what I'll usually do is I'll share the whole desktop with my students. And so they can see what I'm writing right here. And then on like this side of the page, there could be like a slide or something. So as long as I'm sharing the whole entire screen, they can see, you know, one thing as well as another. So they have basically two. I don't have to share one thing at the same time because sometimes it's helped to see something and see how I'm writing it or I'm applying the concept. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of my desk. Yes, this is an average teacher desk. This is what it looks like. I have my coffee and my water and my vitamins. I use this stand to hold my laptop up. I just felt like it gave me a better, it, you know, like lets me look good at a certain angle. And then the kids can actually see my background. I've had to move it from the kitchen just because, you know, it's hard to keep a kitchen clean every single day and I didn't want the kids seeing that. Plus, you know, there's some alcohol bottles up there. Who knows what they can see sometimes. Stapler. I keep my mouse here. It stays here, honestly. I never move it out. I always need my desk space. So this stays here. My keyboard's here. I use this keyboard with my Mac. I never come up here and type. And then everything else kind of stands. Again, don't mind all my sticky notes. They're crazy. A bunch of pointless information. And then I have the desktop. And then right above lights me. It lights my face. It really makes a dramatic difference. I really recommend a light if you're going to be doing teaching online. It just looks fresh and a lot better, and I don't want to be that dark person. I feel like it's just more engaging. Here I have Lamb Chop. This is like, we use Lamb Chop as a reading partner. So the kids can pick a stuffed animal, and when they read, they can like whisper, you know, ideas and things to them. This is just a book that I have here just, you know, to model reading. Honestly, I never get reading done when they're reading. Sorry guys. More Post-it notes, a bunch of markers for my whiteboard, dry erase markers, all different colors because color coding is key. I put my iPad here. Now, what's really interesting about the iPad, it's super necessary for me, is I log into my Zoom on my iPad as well as my computer. And then I rename myself as just Miss Jessie, and then this will be Miss Jessie's iPad. I'll rename it. And I make myself co-host. So what I can do is I can stay online with the kids on Zoom in the main session. And I put them in breakout rooms by themselves a lot when they're working independently. And then if they have a question, I can, because my iPad is co-host, I can literally click like over into a breakout room. I can pick which breakout room they're in. I can go to it. I'll mute myself on this computer. I really don't care if my camera stays on, you know, in case some kids pop back into the main session. But I can go over here. I can disconnect the audio or connect the audio back, and then unmute myself, and I can talk to the kids in a breakout room. And then I'm on mute over here so the kids can't hear me, but I'm helping an individual without, or I can have a discussion that's like somewhat private outside of Zoom in front of the whole entire class. So iPad is key. The also major key thing is being able to see what the kids see. Sometimes you don't understand. Like, you will forget that you're not sharing something that you're talking about, or you're pointing at something and the kids can't see it. So having the iPad here as a display, also logged in, you can see what you're sharing on Zoom, so you know what the kids can see. So that's good. And then it's also good just for size. Like, is this video big enough? Can they see this? Is this too small? Do I need to zoom in? That kind of thing. All right, now that's basically it. And then, you know, I keep my coffee here, my tea. Next is just this small little area here. I literally, this is like a learning kit equipment. So I make the kids learning kits every 3 weeks, and their parents come, they drive to the school, they pick them up, and I give them their like supplies. So these are just like 2 examples of learning kits that I prepped for the students and gave them. So I have a copy for myself, just so I can have. And then there's like extra materials in this bag for science. We're gonna do some science stuff. Markers, I have markers here, extra dry erase markers that I'll bring to the school, just so I can have any extras. Anyway, start at the top. I have pencils, pens, Sharpies, scissors, more colored dry erase markers. I mean, I have no organization. It just, if you need a tool or a writing tool, there it is. That's my attendance sheet. Don't worry, no last names. This is just junk I've accumulated, just papers I've accumulated, and they don't really have a place because they don't fall into one of these categories. So, junk. Teaching stuff. Let's talk about this drawer. This is batteries. They're so important. I need to have batteries. I can't tell you how many times my mouse has died or my keypad has died. I don't know. It's just some random stuff. Do I go in this drawer often? No. Literally the only thing I go in this drawer for is batteries. And I keep hand sanitizer. I'll be taking this stuff with me. I'll be taking these drawers, actually all these drawers with me to the school. I'm going to put them in my car this afternoon as we prepare for hybrid learning. So yeah, this was my last day teaching from home. So this is just any miscellaneous teacher stuff. Here's another drawer of miscellaneous teacher stuff. Paper, Post-it notes, markers, staplers. I have a webcam here that doesn't even connect to my computer. So stupid. Pens, highlighters. I don't know. Just another random teacher stuff drawer. Next, I have it separated by subject. So math, reading, and science. I don't teach writing. My co-teacher, my team teacher teaches it. We split. I teach math and science. She teaches social studies and writing, but we both teach reading to our class. So, that's another thing I forgot to mention, but the iPad is super helpful if you want to like change Zooms, because we do team teach and we have to change Zoom. So I have to teach another class math. So I go and I end up logging in with the iPad. She makes me host, and then when she comes into my Zoom over here, that's when I leave the session, come back over here, and then make myself host back on the iPad. It's really awesome. That way, one of us is doing this. Either she's coming in first or I'm coming in first, and then that's how we switch Zooms without having to end a meeting. Anyway, I've got my math materials in here. Usually is where I keep my floppy. I've got a binder in here that's taking up a lot of space, and I don't think I need it. Next, we have reading. This is where I keep all my reading materials. Honestly, it's not a lot. We're summarizing nonfiction right now. Reader's Workshop has been pretty cool and laid back. And then here's where I keep my science stuff. We did an experiment on sugar cubes and they needed to be undisturbed. So I left those there. But yeah, generally this is where my science stuff goes, even though there's not a lot in there right now. But we've been doing science. And then my last drawer is just like computer stuff, cords, junk. Honestly, I think I just didn't want to empty this drawer out from what it originally was. But it is computer stuff, computer wires, HDMI cords, phone charging cables, yada, yada, yada. Camera supplies, because at one point I thought maybe an additional camera would work, but the laptop's working fine. Next is my wall. Nothing fancy. The only thing here is a student drew me a picture of a crab and sent it to the school in the mail, which was really cute and really nice. We've been working on shading. We had an art shading lesson. We made an eye. We made an eye replica with a magnifying glass. We made a finger, paper finger, robot finger, I think it was called. It was pretty cool. Don't look at that. Here's my list. This is how I lesson plan. I always print out the month and it'll say, and it's got it by times. So, we do morning meeting, and then I'll say, okay, writers, which I don't plan. And then math, and it literally says what math lesson I'll be doing. Module 3, and we'll be taking a quiz on topic G that day. And then, I go into what I'm doing for science, what we're focused on in reading. That's how I keep organized. If I don't have this planned at the beginning of the month, or preferably the beginning of the semester, I am lost. So And then this is where I keep my math supplies. I print out like lessons and I keep those notes with me. Or sometimes it's just some hard copies of materials that I need. And then I can just pull it out. So I'll put in like a week's worth. I'll print the lessons and put the week in. And then I'll take the week out. So I just have to go in, pull the next one out. Go in, pull the next one out. And then I'm good. I have my lessons ready to go and I know where to get them. I could put them in my math drawer, but it's something about having them right here. I just like. I have my comfy pink chair. I bought my desk and my chair from, what is that furniture site called? Wayfair? I got it off of Wayfair. We don't need to go into this part of the desk. It literally has no purpose. It's just junk. I've got gloves here. All this stuff is like done. This too, just junk. It's just like, where do I put it? I don't know. Put it here. And one last thing I really wanted to feature was my arm. So I put the phone here. It slides. It's kind of like, it expands and retracts. So I'll slide my phone in here and I can move the phone around, move it down. Pretend that didn't happen. I usually don't leave it there. I'll leave my water bottle up here, matter of fact. But, so yeah, I put my phone here. And this is how the kids can see, and it'll project onto the screen. I share my screen, and the kids see everything. And so it's pretty easy. I can read with them. We can write together. We do science experiments this way. Like without this arm, I think it was literally maybe $16. Literally the best thing ever. And it is really secure on my desk right here. So my little paper clips. I don't know, they're in the most random place, but they're really essential. And that is it. That's my teaching setup in a nutshell. This is all I need. I feel like, yes, it's a lot of technology. It's 2 screens and an iPad and an arm and a document camera. And it was a lot to work with at the beginning of the year. But it's been pretty seamless. I feel like, you know, any teacher out there who's been teaching online and maybe has a setup similar to this, I feel like you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling like I'm becoming a master, right, at teaching online. And now I have to get used to teaching hybrid, which is going to be so crazy. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my teaching setup. It's going to be a major adjustment because tomorrow I'm actually going, well, today I'm actually packing all this stuff up and then I'm going to be putting it in the car and I will be taking it to school. So these days of working from home are over. Whether it's this week, I'll just be teaching remotely, but in my classroom. And then next week we'll be doing some hybrid learnings. But it is going to be I think it's going to be challenging, and especially since my classroom is very empty. I haven't done anything with it. I've barely stepped foot in it, but I'm really excited to transition this over to a different classroom and seeing how that goes. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my online teaching setup for at home. If you're out there and you have been teaching and you're a hybrid teacher, and you have had students in front of you and online, if you have any tips, please drop them down in the comments below. I am so thankful. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good one.